In today's video, guys, we're going to talk about the announcement from the creative director of Gotham Knights hinting at a major villain that's going to be announced in 2 weeks' time from today. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to go over the top 5 villains I think that could be featured in this game. Let's get started. Alright guys, starting list of number 5, we have Harvey Dent, aka the infamous TwoFace, the villain that started from the beginning. Guys, this is one of the best villains in my personal opinion. I really enjoyed this villain in the Batman the Animated Series. He was heavily featured in that show. He was featured in Arkham City and was featured in Arkham Knight. The biggest problem with those two games is that he was featured into the side missions only. He was only in the side missions. It was very upsetting to see Harvey Dent TwoFace not in the main story. Yeah, he was in some mission in Arkham Knight, but then there was Arkham City one in the courthouse with Catwoman, but let's be honest, that was very far and few in between of a story villain. So I would call that a side villain. The reason why I also think it makes sense to have TwoFace in this is because Robin, hands down, he has the biggest issue with Robin from the animated series. If it has anything to do with connecting any of this together, the animated series, Robin and TwoFace, these two are big rivals. Big rivals for, I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know if you guys seen the animated series episodes, but there's a big reason why Robin is not like TwoFace, and I'm pretty sure TwoFace would be a good addition considering the late Batman is gone. And Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood are there. TwoFace may think it's easier to take them all out since Batman's not there. But that's just my prediction. He wasn't in Arkham Origins, which is made by Warner Brothers, which is making Gotham Knights. So maybe it's a possibility and may not be true. But we'll find out. Gotham Knights could see TwoFace. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this coin and flip it. And we're going to see if it lands to see if he's in the game or not. Not the same coin. Coming up at number 4, we have Shaw Ghoul. Shaw Ghoul is one of the most notorious Batman villains. Shaw Ghoul was featured pretty heavily in the animated series as well, but the big thing we're going to talk about today is the games themselves. Shaw Ghoul was heavily featured in Arkham City. He was missing in Arkham Asylum. He was also pretty missing in the Arkham Knight game, but he was in some DLC as a, I'm not going to talk about that, it's going to spoil stuff. Shaw Ghoul making his appearance in Gotham Knights will be a big deal. Let me talk about 2 reasons. Number 1, Batman was always the man to stand in the way of Shaw Ghoul. Shaw Ghoul tried to do everything he could. He would always end up in a Lazarus pit, but always would come back stronger. But Batman would always just push him back down and not let him through with his plan. What I'm trying to say is, Batman was the man to stop Shaw Ghoul. Batman's not in this game. Batman's dead. What more of an opportunity for Shaw Ghoul to take his anger out from the late Batman's sidekicks, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood? I think it's time to definitely add Shaw Ghoul, but there's something bigger I want to talk about. Look at them. Look at the Court of Owls. I know they're a different Batman villain group from back then, but just imagine if Shaw Ghoul is ahead of the Court of Owls. It makes sense. I can see the resemblance. Obviously, he ran ninjas before, but maybe Shaw Ghoul's plans have turned into something totally different. It would be a major plot twist if it happens. Shaw Ghoul could be the Court of Owls' savior. You never know. Coming up at number 3, Bane. Bane is the guy I literally mentioned it 40 times in my last video. If you haven't seen the last video, I was talking about how Bane could be included in Gotham Knights lineup because of this right here. Take a look. You see Bane. This is clearly Bane. I literally was ranting almost about how that was Bane. I thought it was Bane. Batman? Yes, I thought it was Bane. Seriously. So, why do I think this could be the big announcement? Maybe everybody missed the opportunity to realize that was Bane, so maybe they're going to announce it's Bane. But maybe not. Maybe that's not big enough for the Gotham universe. Maybe it's someone else, but that is the only reason I can think of. But there could be also another master plan involved. Bane could be the big force to drive away the other 4 sidekicks, taking over and fighting for the revenge of Batman's death. Keep in mind, Batman's the one that usually could stop Bane. Without Batman, think about it. Those 4 are going to have a very tough time taking on Bane, if you think about it. So maybe Bane wants to take that opportunity to maybe lead the Court of Owls. Maybe he's the bodyguard for the Court of Owls. Maybe he's just his own villain in the game. You never know. We'll find out. Coming up at number 2, we have the most famous female Batman villain of all time, and that is Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is obviously in every single Arkham game. I'm pretty 100% sure she was Arkham Origins. That game, it's been a long time since I played that one. I only played that once, by the way. She was in Arkham City. She was in Arkham Asylum. She was in Arkham Knight. She was in every single Arkham game. Even Blackgate, I think she was in as well. So if she's in every Arkham game, think about this. She was already mad at Batman for the death of the Joker in Arkham Knight. Just think about that. From City. Just think about that. So maybe this is a perfect opportunity for Harley Quinn to be included in this game. And the biggest reason is to avenge the Joker's death. What I mean is Joker obviously died and he's not in the game. And maybe it's time for her to take her frustration out and finally take out the other sidekicks who are also avenging Batman's death instead. So Harley Quinn was madly in love with the Joker. We all knew that from the animated series and all the other comics and everything else. But we do know that if she's included, she is going to be a big problem for the other 4 sidekicks fighting for Batman's death, because Harley Quinn is a sadistic villain more than you guys think. From all the games, she's one crazy villain. So if we see Harley Quinn, that would probably be one of the biggest announcements of this game yet. Number 1, the Riddler. The Riddler, aka the guy on my shirt right here. Yes, the Riddler is one of the most famous Batman villains of all time, and the reason why he needs to be in this game is clearly because the Riddler is in every Arkham game. He's in some way, shape, or form in some Arkham game. He could be a riddle, he could be a package, he could be a boss fight, he could be he could be a manipulator to Catwoman. He could be insanely crazy in these Arkham games. Yes, he's been way more included in City and Night than the other ones, but let's talk about what's missing in Gotham Knights so far. What is one thing that has not been included in Gotham Knights yet? Obviously, the answer is Riddler trophies. The Riddler trophies are either a like or a hate when it comes to the Arkham games. So I know you're probably saying this is not an Arkham game, this is a Gotham game. Think about it. Riddler trophies, more replay value. There could be the stuff with the Bat Cycle, since the Batmobile is obviously not in the game. There's probably going to be some sort of Riddler trials in the game. And Riddler is one of the craziest villains when it comes to mission variety as well. There was like racing in Arkham Knight. There was stuff with robots. You had to defuse stuff to get Catwoman out. The Riddler stuff is so freaking original and so awesome, and it makes the Arkham games so much better. Why would they not include the Riddler in Gotham Knights? This is similar to leaving Reptile out of Mortal Kombat 11, if that makes any sense. Obviously, I know they added the Shang Tsung, sort of, but you get the picture. Bring the Riddler. The Riddler is one villain that does not need to be missing because how he's always involved in the Arkham games. Alright, that is it for today's video. I did a pretty quick one for you guys today. It's pretty much which villains I think could be the announcement in 2 weeks. Obviously, I went into depth with some of them. Let me know in the comment section below of these 5 villains, which ones you would think would be in the game. Also, let me know in the comment section below if you could pick a different villain. I know I left Catwoman out. The reason why I left Catwoman out because she is kind of a villain and a hero. I would call her an anti-hero. I don't know what you would call her. She's both. She's very confusing with that. I would definitely not consider her a main villain, to say the least. So, alright. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Mr. Freeze so far, Penguin, the Court of Owls. Could the next one be the ones I named? Let's find out. Stay awesome, stay positive, most of all, stay safe. Peace out, guys.